You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
Welcome along. Sometimes working in the data world feels like you're just constantly trying to catch up, doesn't it? It moves so fast.
It really does. Blink and you miss something major.
Exactly. So today, for our Product Thursdays data chat, we're going to try and pin down a few really interesting things happening, some cool innovations, but also maybe some challenges folks are running into when building data products.
Sounds good. Lots to cover.
Okay, let's kick off with something positive, a real win. I was looking at Instacart's Maple service. It seems like a great example of a data product tackling a big headache, large-scale LLM processing.
Oh yeah, Maple is fascinating. What's really smart about it is how it gets the job done. It's all about automating those batch workflows.
Right, which saves money, presumably.
Big time. We're talking cost reductions of sometimes up to 50%, which is huge.
Wow, okay. How do they actually do that? What's under the hood?
Well, they lean on some pretty robust tech, things like temporal for fault tolerance, making sure these long, complex jobs actually finish, even if there's a glitch.
Ah, okay, so it keeps things running smoothly.
Exactly. And then for storage, they're using Parquet files in S3. Very efficient for querying massive data sets quickly.
So the bottom line is it lets teams focus on the AI stuff, not the plumbing.
Pretty much. They can innovate faster without getting bogged down building custom infrastructure for every single LLM task. It handles that heavy lifting.
That 50% saving is definitely eye-catching. And abstracting away complexity, well, that's usually what engineers want, right? But does that ever backfire? Like, does too much abstraction make it harder to debug or tweak things later?
That's a fair question.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's always a trade-off. But Maple seems to be hitting a sweet spot. It handles the common, undifferentiated stuff really well.
Okay.
If you have a super specific niche requirement, maybe you still need something custom. But for most LLM batch jobs, the reliability and cost savings probably win out. It's about smart abstraction,
Got it. Knowing what not to abstract, maybe?
Precisely.
Okay, so from a success story, let's maybe pivot to something trickier. AI is exciting, LLMs are powerful, but retrieval augmented generation, RG, seems to have some hidden traps.
Oh, absolutely. RG sounds great in theory, but putting it into practice effectively, that's where things can get messy. If you're building AI agents, this is definitely something to watch.
So where does it tend to go wrong? What are the common pitfalls?
Well, we generally see issues pop up across 5 main areas, or layers, you could say. First up is the data layer itself.
Like the quality of the info you feed it.
Exactly. Things like bad chunking, how you split up your documents. Get that wrong, and you either lose context or feed it noise. Stale info is another big one, or outdated embeddings.
Embeddings. Those are the numerical representations of the data's meaning, right?
Correct. If those aren't refreshed, your AI is basically working with an old map of the world. Then there's the retrieval layer. Using just one method, like only vector search, can be brittle, or having weak re-ranking.
So just finding similar stuff isn't enough?
Often, no. You need the most relevant stuff.
Yeah.
That's why things like hybrid retrieval, mixing keyword search like BM25 with vector search, and then using smarter cross-encoder re-rankers can make a huge difference. They really double-check the relevance before it hits the LLM.
Okay, data retrieval. What else?
Then you've got issues with vague prompts, problems in the underlying system like latency or scaling, and finally, a lack of guardrails for safety and trust. It's quite a minefield.
Out of those 5, which one bites people most often, maybe without them realizing it at first?
Oh, definitely the data layer stuff, especially stale or poorly managed embeddings. I've seen teams chase their tails for weeks thinking the LLM is hallucinating wildly,
Yeah.
only to discover the data it was retrieving from was months out of date, or critical info was split weirdly across chunks. It's classic garbage in, garbage out, but for AI context.
Right, the foundation has to be solid. Okay, now here's something that kind of blew my mind, impacting the whole data landscape. This surge in AI web crawlers.
Ah, yes, the bots.
It's huge, like up 32% year over year in April. And apparently 80% of that crawling is just for training AI models now, not traditional web indexing. GPT-bot, Meta, they're all over it.
And if you connect the dots there, you start to see this thing people are calling the crawl-to-click gap.
Explain that. What's the gap?
Well, imagine an AI bot. Let's say Anthropic's Claude might crawl, 38,000 pages.
Wow.
Just to answer maybe one user query, leading to perhaps one user visit back to a source, if any. So the content is being scraped and used on a massive scale.
Without the websites getting the traffic or ad views they normally would.
Exactly. Publishers aren't seeing proportional traffic or monetization for the value being extracted. We're even seeing things like Google News referrals dropping like 9 to 15% down since January, likely because AI is summarizing the news directly in search results.
So the whole web economy is kind of shifting under our feet.
It's a profound shift. For anyone building data products or creating content, the big question becomes, how do we adapt? New monetization, new ways to track value, maybe even products to help creators manage how their content is used by AI. It's a huge challenge.
Okay, so wrapping this up. We've gone from efficient LLM processing with things like Maple to navigating the weeds of ARG implementation, and now this huge shift in web data dynamics driven by AI crawlers. Data products are clearly right in the thick of it all. Maybe you're even working on one listening to us on The Vocal Technologist.
And it all kind of loops back to a persistent challenge, doesn't it? That tricky context layer in data. We're still wrestling with things like fragmented metric definitions, different teams calling the same thing by different names.
Leading to confusion, yeah.
Right. And AI agents need rich, reliable, governed business context to function well. So the ongoing quest, really, for all of us in data and AI is, how do we actually build that shared understanding, that reliable context layer, and make sure it gets adopted and used effectively? That's the next frontier, I think.
Spoken Tech for your ears.